Hey there, YouTubers. Kid Hoarder here, and you're watching Session Report, the show that takes you to the gamer's table to share in the surprises that come out during play. And today we are going to be playing Lobotomy. This is the second video of what is probably going to be several videos, I would imagine. And we're basically ready to begin gameplay. But before we do that, I want to look up the special abilities of these vampires that are in play, because I feel like that is something that we need to understand more about. Alrighty, so they've got the skills Boss, Blood Bond, immunity to a couple of things, and Precision. The Boss means they cannot be stunned or controlled, also they move and attack first. The Blood Bond says +1 to attack rolls and +1 AP for each additional monster of the same type within 4 spaces. However, the FAQ on this says +1 to attack rolls and an additional attack, so who knows what that's supposed to be. The immunity is self-explanatory. Those effects don't damage them or don't affect them, but they do take damage from the attack normally. And then they have precision, and a couple other monsters also have precision. Precision just means that their attacks that roll a natural 6 get through armor, so they ignore defense and they deal direct damage. They also looks like they have like a power attack and frost attached to both of their attacks. So let's see what those do. So the power attack stuns. Well, it doesn't say. It says it stuns non-boss enemies. I think it stuns a player as well. And then the Frost places Frost token, and the Frost token means you must pay 1 AP during your turn to remove the frozen status. You suffer a -1 attack die penalty to your first attack on the start of your turn. Alright. And it looks like you can have both effects dealt to you, unfortunately. So we are going to try to avoid being attacked by the vampires, but also we need to hunt down the vampires. That's sort of our goal here. Okay, so the general flow of the game is that each character takes their turn, and they get a number of AP equal to what it says on their character. All of these characters get 3 AP, which is fairly average. A couple of characters get more than that, but 3 is the average. One of them actually gets less than 3, which really sucks. Anyway, they do their actions, and then once everybody's taken an action, the monsters get a turn. So you can imagine, the more characters you have, the easier the game gets. And there's a couple of handicaps they put in place to make games a little easier at lower player counts than the maximum, but honestly, it really, it does make a difference, based on my experience. So, anyway, we're beginning with Peter Constant. So Peter Constant, remember, he has his cross and he's not afraid to use it. And he's going to go along with the doctor and maybe try to collect some stuff from here. I mean, there's a really nice, sweet space here where he could collect multiple good things out of these cabinets. And plus, there's 2 memory tokens up here. So he's going to go 1, and he's in this middle space now. He is going to go 2. And he's going to go 3. And you know what? No, he's going to start out here, and he's going to try and open this door. So he's going to go 1, 2, and the door is barricaded. So he's going to have to either spend actions or spend weapon, weapon durability to get that door open. And he doesn't want to do that, doesn't really care for that, so he's going to go 3 right here. And the nice thing about that is revealing that door actually now blocks this enemy from going through it, so it's going to have to go the long way around. Perfect. And then Marcus Dieter's turn, and he's going to go 1, 2, and he's going to reveal this door, and that is just a locked door. So to open a locked door, if I remember correctly, you basically roll a number of dice equal to your imagination, and you are trying to get as many successes in a single try as what's shown on this token, which is 3. So Dieter actually has a very nice imagination. He rolls 8 dice, and I believe successes are 4, 5s, or 6s. So we're looking for 3 successes, so that's a 4, 5, or 6. Okay, perfect. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So easily peasily have opened this door. Now that was 3 actions, so that ends Marcus Dieter's turn as well. I'll just put this down here. Helena Swan. Okay, she's also got her 3 actions. And I think what she's going to do to start with, because actually she's pretty good at exploring too, so maybe she should go down there and try and open up some of these doors down here. Let's see. She's going to go 1. Actually, yeah, she's going to go 1, 2, and she's going to look at this body. And unfortunately, that dead body was nothing. It wasn't holding anything of use for me. So that's that turn done. Pretty big waste of time. And then Mr. Blade Equilibriist is going to go. And he's going to go 1, 2, and I'm a little nervous actually about putting him in range of a vampire. So let's think this through. 1, 2, 3? Is that useful at all? You know, I should have started him out somewhere else. I think there should be a rule that you basically choose your starting position after, like, during your first turn of the game, because every time I'm like, oh, I should have started them somewhere else. Like, if I knew Helena was going to go get that body, she should have started here. Then it would have been 1, 2, and then whatever, 3. Same with him. Now I know I want to make him go down this route, so we're going to go 1, 2, and we're going to explore or try that door. So that is also barricaded. Nothing I can do about it unless I spend action points or durability, and I'm not planning on doing either of those things. So that is his entire turn, and that is everybody's turn. So now it's time for the monster's turn. So the monster's turn has a number of steps to it. First thing, draw the card, and then if there's a special event, do that thing. So we've got a monster card here. It is no event this time, so nothing happens, but then we go down to the star. It does have a star, and it's a blue star, so we will apply the blue star effect from this scenario. And I believe this blue star effect is not going to be too harmful for me. It says all characters on spaces with vampires, so I'll just stop reading there because that doesn't apply. And then there would be either a memory token spawned, or the warden would move, or both. In this case, neither of those things happened. And then we're going to spawn, well, first we're going to move enemies and attack, and then we're going to, actually we move enemies, then we spawn new enemies, and then we attack. It's not clear in the rules, but that is how you're meant to do it. So, to move enemies, we're going to start with, how I normally do it is on a tile-by-tile basis, because that just helps me keep track of who's moved. Now, technically, you're supposed to do the bosses, and then the elite enemies, then the basic. We're just going to do everything on a tile altogether. So, we start with our vampiress over here, and she has 2 AP, so she's going to move 2. 1, 2. And she's just going to be moving toward the nearest character. In this case, she's just going to move toward the nearest, toward the middle of the board, I think, because that's going to get her close to a character. Then we have the scavenger, who also gets 2, and he's going to go 1, 2, and that way he's right next to a character. And we have the mental patient, who gets 1, so he's just going to go down 1, like this. Now, one thing about this is that they can move through doors unless it's a revealed door that hasn't yet been removed from the board. And then, for some reason, suddenly they can't move through it. I guess it's because you're imagining that they are trying to get through the door or something like that. Alright, so that was that whole tile dealt with. Now we have this one up here, 1, 2. He did not quite make it out the door. And this guy here, seems like there should be a door token there. I don't know why there wasn't one during setup, because that space is clearly highlighted. But whatever. We're going to move him up here. He only moves 1 space. And then we're going to go down to this tile here. The nurse moves 1 space. She has 1 AP. So she's going to go out into the hallway. The vampire is going to move, let's see, if she goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or she could go 1, 2, 3, but that's barricaded, so she can't go that way. So she's going to go up 1, 2, and she's also in the hallway. This scavenger is going to go down 1, 2, and then there's another mental patient who's just going to go up here. Perfect. And then finally we have this tile down here. So there's a vampire. She's going to go 1, 2, and she is actually going to be fighting Mr. Dale Walker. This mental patient just moves 1, so he's going there. The nurse, I think that this, I don't know if that counts as a wall. I mean, I guess that counts as a wall. It looks like these are like fences or something. So she's going to go 1, I guess, and then this scavenger is going to go 1, 2, I guess. All right. So now everybody, now we are going to spawn the enemies from this card. So 1 scavenger and 1 mental patient are being spawned. Let's do it. So 412 for the scavenger and 410 for the mental patient. So got all my minis down here. We'll take a scavenger and a mental patient, and they are going here and here. And then Dale is going to have to deal with some damage from a vampire. So they have 2 possible attacks, a 1 through 3 and a 4 through 6. We're going to deal with one randomly, so let's figure out which one it is. It is a 1 through 3, so she's rolling 6 dice, and it's a power attack, which is going to stun him and possibly knock him back, and plus it deals frost damage. So we're rolling 6 dice, and she succeeds at a 4 or greater. So this is going to actually be really tough. But let's see what it is. Okay, 3 successes there. So let's remind ourselves what those keywords mean, and then we're going to deal damage. Okay, as I was looking that up, unfortunately I realized that I have already forgotten the special scenario rules, which is that the vampires switched into their special forms when they were moving. So this first one over by the entrance, she swapped into the rat swarm form, which didn't have any effect, but the other 2 vampires switched into wolf form, which means they get 1 extra or 2 extra movement points. So she ended up here, and this one stayed where she was. And also, they get +1 to attack rolls. No, +1 attack die. So I'm going to re-roll the attack just because I've sort of forgotten how many successes I rolled. So she is now rolling 7 dice instead of 6. And again, that is a precision attack. Is she within 4 spaces of another one? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, she is. So it's a precision attack. She gets +1 to attack rolls because of her blood bond. And she's going to be dealing frost and power attacks. So it's going to be really, really bad. Okay. So this was a 5. I hit it with another die. So that is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. So first we'll do this one which cuts through my defense, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, but I have 1 defense, so that's just 3 extras. So he is taking 4 damage. Oh, but she gets +1 to her attack rolls as well. So actually this 3 was also a success, so we're going to put another one on there. So he's taken 5 damage. Youch. Plus he gets stunned. Youch. Plus he gets frozen. Youch. So both stunned and frozen basically have the same effect. It's going to take 1 action to stand him up at the beginning of his turn. And he's going to take 1 action to remove frozen at the beginning of his turn. And then also he deals 1 fewer damage, or is it -1 to his attack rolls while he's frozen? Yeah, he gets a -1 attack die penalty for his first attack after he unfreezes himself. So lots of bad stuff there. But that is the end of that event. We will put the card down here, and we will continue on with the next turn by passing the first player marker to the next character. Okay, so unfortunately Dale is in trouble. These vampires are not making it easy for me to gear up before facing them, so I might just try to kill this one. So the first character who is ready is Marcus Dieter, and he is next to a scavenger, and there's another vampire over there. Let's see. He has an okay attack, so let's see if he can kill the scavenger. He's going to move 1, and he's going to attack this scavenger with his lobotomy spike. So the lobotomy spike is 4 dice. If you roll at least 1 6, he's going to add the chaos die, which normally you'd have to spend insanity to do that. We haven't talked about insanity at all, but that's something you can spend for plus to your dice and all sorts of fun stuff. So we're going to do this. No 6s. In fact, he only deals 1 damage to the scavenger. Scavenger has 0 defense, so he is going to deal a damage to the scavenger. We will take a damage token here and place it on the scavenger. Oh, you know what? Dale Walker never took his damage, so we're going to take one of these. I've doctored these up a little bit so that some of them are worth more than 1, otherwise it gets really awful when you're trying to pile these tokens up. And also because Marcus Dieter rolled a 1, that unfortunately means he takes a durability on his weapon. So if you roll at least 1 your weapon gains a durability. So he can attack with the lobotomy spike again, or try and do something else. He's going to attack again with the lobotomy spike. Okay, oh man, unfortunately just another 1 damage, so not quite enough to kill this thing, but Peter Constant can help with that later. So the scavenger has now taken 2 damage. And again I rolled a 1. So again, this lobotomy spike is going to take a durability. So it's actually on its way toward wearing down. Fortunately, Marcus Dieter, once he's done with that, he can search that cabinet and maybe get a better thing. So Helena Swan's turn now. Okay, she has many things she can do. She is near this vampire, though, so she needs to deal with that. So I think she's gonna stay where she is because she can actually do a hypnotizing eyes attack from range 1. So she's going to start with this hypnotizing eyes attack, which means that we need to place a cooldown token on it, and she gets to roll 8 dice. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. She's dealing 8 dice against this vampire, and the vampire has 2 defense. So we're going to have to deal 4 or better. We're going to have to roll several of these, at least 3 of them. All right, let's try it. Okay, so that was 4 successes. I rolled 4 4s or better. So that means I dealt damage, so I can move 1 space in any direction, recover 1 health. I'm not going to recover the health, but I am going to move 1 space over here, and I'm going to actually try to attack this other vampire while I'm here. But that first vampire did get damaged. Her defense counts for 2, so she gets 1 more hit, or 2 more hits. So we're going to put 2 hits on this vampire here, like so. Not very convenient, but that's how we're going to have to do it. And then that was Helena's first action. She's then going to move up here to the second vampire, and she is going to attack with her blur attack, which is going to allow her to roll 7 dice. So she's going to roll 7 dice and really hope that she's dealing damage, because if we can continue dealing damage to the vampires, they go into their mist form and they fly away. And that's sort of what we want here. Okay, wow, that was a lot of successes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. That's really nice. So again, the vampire has defense of 2, so that means we're dealing 3 damage to the vampire, like so. And then both of them are going to go into mist form. I wonder how you're supposed to track whether they took damage this turn or not. I guess you're just supposed to remember it. So they're both going to go into mist form this turn instead of trying to attack, which is good. Dale Walker's turn. So unfortunately, he has to spend 1 AP to stand up, and then 1 AP to remove this status effect from being frozen, and then he gets 1 more action, and he can, for instance, attack. So I think what he's going to do, actually, is he's going to try this Blade Equilibrist attack, because this could actually kill this vampire. I think the vampires, if I understand it correctly, they don't get any extra special defensive abilities or anything like that, aside from being able to turn into mist. And they, let's say, have the blood bond, the immunity to certain things, and precision. But so they attack very well, but I don't think that they're defending particularly well. So remember, these only have 6 health each, so I just need to deal 6 damage to it. So we're going to spend my last turn to do an attack. It's going to be the Blade Equilibrist. and it's going to, because I have a negative to my attack dice, I'm only rolling 5 dice for this. And it has that holy ability. So holy attacks treat ethereal enemies' defense as 0, but this enemy is not ethereal. So we're going to roll and hope for the best. We need 4s or better. Okay, I only got 1 success, unfortunately, and that doesn't do me any good. But it says I can attack twice, so we're going to do another attack right away. Okay, actually, you know what? This first attack was a power attack. Well, but it's a boss, so boss enemies are immune to stun. Okay. So this one I only got 2 successes, so again, it didn't do me any good. So that is going to go like this. Start its cooldown, and that's all I can do. But I am going to use my acrobatics so that I can leave this space with the vampire, because I really don't think it's a good idea to be in this space with the vampire, and then I'm going to take a negative status effect. So it says you lose 1 health to move 2 spaces in any direction, and gain 1 to attack rolls until the end of the round. You know what? I'm going to leave this how it is, actually. We're not going to do anything like that. So he's just going to stay where he is, and hopefully he'll do fine. Ugh, I'm a little worried, actually, because that scavenger is going to get him. So, yeah, I am going to make him do his ability. So he's going to do his acrobatics, you know, sort of flip out of the way. It's going to take a toll on him, but he's going to go 1, 2, and then he's only in danger from this patient, at least, not from the scavenger as well. Perfect. And then Peter Constant's turn. Peter Constant is up here. He is going to, well, he could try to finish off that scavenger, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe it'd be a good idea to try and finish off this vampire if he could. So he has this cool ability to attack twice as well, but his wooden cross is only doing 4. Well, he gets a +1 to it, so yeah, we're going to do it. So he's going to go 1, and then he's in the space with the vampire. And he's going to use Demon's Favor to attack twice, and his attack gains fire. And fire negates 1 defense from the enemy. And it says your weapon loses 1 durability no matter how many 1 results were rolled. So I'm guessing that my weapon loses durability regardless of if I roll 1 or not. Not that it loses an extra durability or that it loses fewer durabilities. It's just if I roll a 1, if I don't roll a 1, no matter what happens, it loses a durability, which is understandable. I'm also going to I'm going to use an insanity move. So we have a couple of insanity moves available to you. And the one I'm using is add the chaos die. Up to once per attack, add the chaos die to your next attack. Skulls are automatic successes. So we're rolling 4 dice plus the skull die, and hopefully I can finish off this vampire. So let's see what happens. And this attack is holy, but that doesn't do any good, but it does have fire, and that is going to help us out. So let's see. Okay, so I rolled 1, 2, 3 successes plus 2 skulls, which count as successes. So that's actually going to be really nice. 3 successes plus 2, and she only gets 1 to her defense. So that is going to be 4 damage, which actually kills this vampire. So this vampire is dead now. It was easy. Much easier than I expected it to be. And we'll just put her over here for now. But, so yeah, she's gonna, that means we're 1 step toward completing the scenario already. When there's 1 vampire left, we're going to start the next scenario. Let me just double check and make sure there's not anything I'm missing in terms of killing the vampires. No, I mean, aside from that they can recover health and stuff, it seems like if you just attack them all on one turn, then they're easy. So, we'll see. Alright, was that Peter's entire turn? He moved, he attacked, and he gets an extra attack, but he's not actually going to use it. He's not going to be able to use it, so he's going to take another durability on this wooden cross because he chose Demon Favor. And I think he does still get another action left. So he is going to move back in this direction, and eventually he's going to move and help Dieter out and that kind of stuff. Okay, that is it for the heroes. We're going to go into the monster's turn. So, draw another movement card. Crush your face. Mental patients gain power attacks for this turn. Oh, this is going to be a very full movement phase. So, first, Green Star ability. The Green Star on Vampire's Desires is all characters on spaces with vampires get a weakness token, giving -1 to attack rolls. These tokens, it looks like you have to go to a space with a holy symbol on it to get rid of it. So they get weakness tokens represented by this here. That is going to go to... Actually, there's no characters on spaces with vampires anymore because I killed the vampire. So that's actually good for me. Then we're going to randomize a memory. So D7 for a new memory token. So D7 right here. Then the warden does move on this one, so the warden's just going to move to the next space here. That one's easy. And then unfortunately everyone else moves, and this is the hard part. So let's start with up here. We've got another vampire. She needs to roll to see how she moves. She rolled a 1, so she's going into the wolf form, which means she gets +2 action points. So she's going to go 1, 2. She normally gets 2, but then she has 2 more because she's in wolf form. 3, 4. And that'll bring her pretty close to the other characters. And then this patient is going to move 1, and that's pretty much it. Now on this quarter, this scavenger's already in a space with Marcus, so he's not going to move. And then this patient is going to move 1 into here. And then this nurse is going to move right here. And then in the middle, since we're here, this scavenger is going to move 1, 2 into Helena's space. Actually, that's just one movement. That's all one space. Okay, down into this third quarter board. Another vampire is there, so we're going to roll to see how she moves. A 5. That is the shadow form, which means she's going to attack twice. It is not looking good for Dale Walker. I think he's actually going to die right away, but that's okay. You know, actually, no. She got injured this turn, so she goes into mist form instead, which means it becomes ethereal. As mist, the vampire recovers 1 health and moves 5 spaces away to be as far from all characters as possible. So, she is in her mist form. I don't know why we have this mist form token, because there's only one of them in the game, and there's 3 vampires, so it just doesn't make a lot of sense. But she's going ethereal, and she's going to move 5 spaces away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1. I mean, that would be moving toward him, but then she could get away faster maybe. We're just going to do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just, I guess that's 5 spaces away. And then she's going to recover 1 health. And then she loses mist form. Okay, back to what was going on here. This patient is going to move over here. This scavenger is moving 1, 2. This patient is moving 1. And then we have this quarter as well. So the scavenger is going to go, can't really tell. I guess he's going to go 1, 2. This nurse is going to go 1. This scavenger is going to go 1, 2 and end up in the same space with the nurse. And the patient is going to go here. Okay, and then we're going to deal with attacks. So we actually have 3 attacks going on. We have 1 against Marcus Dieter, we have 1 against Helena, and we have 1 with the patient against Dale Walker. So we're going to start with the patient because they have some special ability this round, and I don't want to forget about it. So they roll 5 dice. It's going to be a power attack, which means if he gets a success, he's going to get stunned. And they succeed on a 5 or better. Oh dear. Wow, that was really bad. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Now Dale does have 1 armor, 1 shield, so that's going to be actually 3 damage. That brings him up to 9, which is pretty bad, and he is going to be stunned. Yeah, that sucks. That's what the power attack does, right? I think that's what it does. Yes. Stuns. Okay. Now we're going to deal with the scavenger up here. Now that scavenger also rolls 5 dice, but it does have precision, and this is against Marcus Dieter, who has no defense, and that scavenger rolled 2 successes. Scavenger also needs a 5 or better. So Marcus Dieter is going to get 2 damage, and then we have a scavenger against Helena. So she, that only got no successes, actually. No successes against Helena, so that's cool. I did not spawn the enemies yet. I forgot about that. So we need to spawn enemies. Where did I put the card? We need to spawn 2 scavengers because we only pay attention to the 3rd one if there's at least 5 players, or there's only up to 5 players in general, so we don't pay attention to the 3rd one unless there's 5 players. Okay, B12 for 1 scavenger. I'll just grab the 2 scavengers now, and then also B9. So B12 and B9. Perfect. And then this card is done. Okay, so we start with Helena. She's first going to work on the cooldown for each of her abilities, so the cooldown progresses. And then she has some broken glass that she can use. So I think I am going to attack the scavenger in my space with broken glass because it seems foolish not to. So that is going to cost me 1 action. I roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice. And I can modify the result of 1 die by 1. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3 successes, and then I'm actually going to modify the result of one of them to a 4, and now I've got 4 successes. Unfortunately, my weapon does lose 1 durability because I rolled a 1. But I do have 4 successes. The scavenger only takes 3 damage to kill it, and it has no shield, so that 4 successes kills it. So that was nice. That was my first action. And that means I get to reduce the cooldown of one of my abilities by 1. I'm going to reduce Hypnotizing Eyes because that's pretty cool. I'm then going to, I think, use the Soul Eater's Trap. So that's going to cost me 1 action. And I get to place a blue token next to a non-boss monster within range of 4, and it's possibly not going to move, and then also possibly going to heal me. So, and there's actually a very good chance of it doing those things. So we're putting a blue token there, and then that's going to have some effects later on. And then for her last action, she is going to move, I think, up here to get together with the rest of the characters, because it seems like in this scenario we definitely want to all work together as a group. The next player to go is Dale Walker. He has to spend 1 action point just to stand up. Oh, he's going to reduce his cooldowns by 1. He is then going to try to use Vampiric Regeneration, and that is roll 1d6 for every missing health, recover 1 health for every 5 and 6. So I've got 9 damage. That means I'm going to roll 9 dice, which is almost all of them. I think there's 10 of them altogether. Yep. And we're looking for 5s and 6s, so let's see what we can do. So this is my second out of 3 actions. Alright, we got 3 successes, which means he heals 3 damage. It's never too early to start using that skill. And then for his last action, well, possibly his last action, he could use his acrobatics and try and escape again. Also, doesn't somebody have weakness? That somebody got a weakness token or something. Oh yeah, no, that didn't happen because nobody was on the same space with the vampire. So he could try to escape again, or try and kill this mental patient. He has 1 action left. So if he does try to kill the mental patient, that means he would need 5 successes or find some way to ignore its defense. So I'm not sure if that's really a good move. I think what he's going to do is use his acrobatics and try to meet up with the other players. I think it was foolish of him to go down here, although it was sort of a good thing. It kept him from being attacked by that vampire again. So we're going to use acrobatics and we're going to move up to 2 spaces in any direction, 1, 2, and then for his last action he's going to go 3, and he's moving back up to where everyone else is. Okie dokie. Peter Constant is going to reduce his cooldowns. He already got 1 for killing an enemy. And what can he do? Well, it would be nice to attack that vampire, but I think what he's going to do to start with is kill that scavenger. So he's going to go 1 and then 2. So he's in the space with the scavenger, and then I think he can easily kill that scavenger. It just takes 1 more damage. So he's just going to attack with his wooden cross. Oh, which gets +1 die. And he rolled a 4, a 4, and a 5, which definitely is enough to kill it. But his weapon does get 1 durability on it. So the scavenger is killed, which means he gets to reduce his cooldown again, which is nice. And that was his entire turn. So it is Marcus Dieter's turn. So Dieter is going to begin by searching this cabinet that he is standing on. So he's going to roll up to 8 dice. And he is looking for 4s, 5s, and 6s. But first we're going to flip over the cabinet to see what we're looking at here. Okay, so I can find some medicine with 2 successes, or a new weapon or new equipment with 4 successes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, since I don't have enough successes to get 2 things, I think the smart thing to do would be to get one of the things that cost me 4 successes, so that would be either weapons or equipment. Medicine seems like maybe it's a little easier to get. So the equipment can be pretty cool, but his lobotomy spike is actually wearing out. So maybe I should grab a weapon. On the other hand, now we'll grab a weapon to start with. So we're getting a weapon here, and it is a scalpel, appropriately enough, for the doctor. And he gets a free attack with this weapon every turn. That's really cool. So that was just his first move. His second move, so we'll take this, move this out of the way. His second move is going to be to get out of the way of that vampire. And we really want to get down here and search down here. So his second move is actually going to be to use personnel only to move 3 spaces. So we're going to use this personnel only ability, move 3 spaces in any direction, ignore monsters, and gain +2 defense this round. So 1, 2, 3. And then his third action is going to be try to open this door. And there's no lock or barricade, so that door just opens. That's nice. Okay, that is Dieter's turn all finished. So we're going to draw another movement card and see what happens. Oh, I don't like this one. He demands blood. The warden moves 1 space forward on the insomnia track unless players sacrifice 3 plus the number of characters' total health. So that, in case you don't know math, that is 7 total. Well, that's no good. I think, since we're playing a long game, I think having the warden move 1 space forward is actually going to end up being better for us than the alternative. So we're just going to have the warden move 1 space forward, not going to sacrifice any of that damage. Then we have a green star. Again, that only applies if there's a character on a space with a vampire, which there isn't. And then we have the warden moving again. So he's going up to wherever the 4 space is. There it is. And then we have other monsters moving, and then we're going to spawn the scavenger and a mental patient. So we will start with the 2 vampires. And remember, each of them gets to roll for what type of movement they use. So, this one is in wolf form again, which means she gets 4 AP, and I believe +1 to her attack rolls? +1 attack die. So, she has 4 movements, +1 attack die. She is going to go 1, 2, 3, and going right back after Dale. Oh, man. The other vampire, let's see what kind of movement she gets. That's a 4. She is in the rat swarm form, which means she gets +1 to attack rolls. So she just moves 2. 1, 2. There we go. She can't touch him from through that wall, so that's nice. And then everyone else is going to move. So, mental patient moves 1. That mental patient moves 1. This scavenger is going to move, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. He's going to move here. This scavenger is going to move here. Then we have 1, 1, 1, 2, and then we have that, and like that, and like that, and like that. And this nurse has special case where we need to roll a die. And it was a 1 through 5, so the monster does not move, loses 1 health, and Helena recovers 1 health. Well, Helena doesn't have any health to recover, but the monster sure can lose 1 health. Ha ha ha. She is my thrall. And I think I moved everybody. I don't know, I might have missed one, but I think that's everybody. So now we're going to randomize the new monsters. Alright, D8. So we got a scavenger here in D8. And C12 for a mental patient. So D8 is right here, C12 is over here, and that is the new enemies. So only 1 attack going on this turn. That is the vampire, who, if I remember right, was she in wolf form? I believe she was. She's in wolf form, so she gets +1 to her attacks, or +1 die to her attack. So that is. Also, does she get a blood bond? No, she's pretty far away from any other vampires. So she just gets precision. We're going to see what style of attack she does. The stronger one. So she's rolling 8 dice because of her +1 die. So 1 more die. And then, of course, it's a thoroughly awful attack. So let's see what she does. I think... Is there anything Dale can do? I don't think there's anything Dale can do at this point. So. Wow, actually that was really nice. She only got 2 successes on that. That was really good. So, neither of them were 6s, so her precision doesn't fire, which means that he only takes 1 damage, which probably the best thing that could have happened, but he does still get knocked down, and he still gets frozen. All right. And then that is everybody for this turn, so we're going to discard the movement card, and we're going to move the first player token up